All right. Pretty short lesson today, 12-2. The paper has kind of 4 boxes. One is the problem. We're going to do this problem or proof 3 different ways, and that's our notes for today. We are going to do this proof as a 2-column proof, just like the good old days. We're going to do it as what we call a flow proof, what we learned yesterday, which is the same information, just a different layout. And then we're going to do what's called a paragraph proof, which you can probably guess is going to be 1 paragraph. You're basically going to take your 2-column proof and you're going to make the first row into a sentence, make the second row into a sentence, and that makes your paragraph proof. The content of all 3 boxes will be the same. It's just how you lay out the information. So let's go ahead and start with a 2-column proof. Go ahead and write your 2 columns. In the 2-column proof, we can write all the givens at once. In the flow proof, we separate them. Let's go ahead and mark our picture with this angle that they give us, angle MAT. Find that and put a little arc in angle MAT. Then find angle THM. And we better refer back to this first given because we weren't able to mark anything there because it's not a side or angle yet. MA is parallel to HT. Does that mean this? MA is the same length as HT? No, not what that means. Let me show you again. These segments that I'm holding are parallel. They're never touching. Does that mean they're the same distance? No, parallel just means they're not touching. So what I suggest for parallel is to extend the line. So let's find MA, make it long, and HT. There are 3 transversals to pick from. You probably want to pick this one going through the middle of it. I have 8 yellow angles to look at. You can see these up here I don't want. I don't really want this one either because it's halfway out of the triangle, half in the triangle. This is the angle I want. I'm going to mark it in red. And then look at your bottom choices of yellow angles. Be careful not to pick this one because this yellow line from here to here is half out of the triangle, half in the triangle. We don't want that. But this one is exactly in the triangle. Think to yourself what kind of angles those are. This is the inside. One is on the right of the transversal, one is on the left. So they're alternate interior. Let's write the words first. Alternate interior angle. Can I call this angle down here angle T? No, because there's an angle that could be called T as well. So I need to use 3 letters, or let's go ahead and just put a little 1 in there and a little 2 up there. So I'm going to say angle 1 congruent to angle 2. All right, let's see what information we have in our picture. I see a red angle that match. I see a second pair of angles that match. But 2 pair of angles is not enough. Kennedy, do you see something else in our picture we should talk about? Reflexive, yes. See if you guys remember how to write reflexive in your proof. You're asking yourself what side overlaps what side? Side MT of this triangle overlaps MT of that triangle. So simply MT congruent to MT. It looks like our triangles are now congruent. We have 2 angles and 1 side. Where should that side be placed? What do you guys think? Is it included in between the angles or no? No, it is not. So the S can go on either side, not included in the middle. Trevor, name the left triangle for me, please, any order. MHT. All right, everybody, on your own, name the other triangle in the correct order. This one's pretty quick because angle M of this triangle is the only one without a mark. And in this triangle, the only one without a mark is T. H in this triangle has 1 mark, so does A. And T in this triangle, it doesn't go with T in this triangle. T in this blue triangle has 2 arcs in it. That's got to go with, in this triangle, angle M. Now that the triangles are congruent, let's see if these pieces are in the same corresponding place. M and H are listed first and second. That's going to have to go with T and A. Perfect. T and A, or A and T, they're the same 2 letters. So because they're in the same place, MH is congruent to AT. It's okay that it doesn't say TA because it's still the first 2 letters. How do we know they're congruent? Who can tell me what goes here? Yep, corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. Okay, now we're going to do this as a flow proof. So we don't have to do a lot of thinking because we've already got all of our information. Let's do one given at a time. Hopefully you have enough space. I think if you write small enough, you will. Each given gets its own bubble. By the way, you can do rectangles, stars, whatever you want. They don't have to be circles. Okay, so I have my 2 givens. I'm going to kind of do some little check marks. I've done this, and I've done this. Where did this angle information come from? That stemmed from the fact that I had parallel lines. I was able to figure out my angles were congruent. So I'm done with step 2. Am I going too fast? So I've taken care of step 1 of my 2 columns, step 2. Step 3, that was reflexive. Reflexive had nothing to do with anything previously stated, so it just has its own bubble. Step 3 is done. We have to bring these 3 statements together to get our SAA. Sides and an angle, go ahead and copy down that your triangles are congruent. And then your last step stems from your congruent triangles. The important part of the ordering is this. This is the part that has to be in the right order. When you name the segments, TA and AT could be listed either way. Do we need more time at all before we go to the paragraph proof? It's essentially going to be like 5 sentences. I'm not going to write it. I will say it, but you can kind of do it in your own words. You're really just saying, I have this because of this, etc. So here would be my first sentence. I can say it a few times if you need me to. And sometimes I flip the order. I would rather say, we are given, and fill that in instead of saying this was given. So my sentence would say, we are given, and then state it. MA parallel to HT. And you can write the symbols. You don't have to write out the word parallel. We are given MA parallel to HT and state what you were also given. You can write it just like it was. So first sentence, something like this. We were given MA parallel to HT and angle MAT is congruent to angle THM, period. Next sentence could say this. Angle 1 is congruent to angle 2 because they're alternate interior angles. That second sentence was angle 1 is congruent to angle 2 because they're alternate interior angles. So I've talked about all of this. I've talked about that. I've just done that part. Now I'm going to make a sentence out of statement 3. You can start again on left or right. It doesn't matter. It might say MT is congruent to MT because they're reflexive. MT is congruent to MT because they're reflexive. My next sentence might say, I know the triangle MHT is congruent to angle THM because of SAA. That was, I know triangle MHT is congruent to triangle THM by SAA. For this last sentence, I like to write this out in words. I would say for my last sentence, because corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent, I know MH is congruent to AT. That's how I like to finish it, but you can put it in this order. You could say, I know this because of CPCTC. I'm going to say, since we have over 10 minutes left, that I want everybody working on their homework, no phones. You have one proof. You're doing same thing, 2-column flow and paragraph. Start with any one that you want. Please make sure your sentences have a period after each sentence and a capital letter. Use your basic grammar skills.